Hello and welcome to Dr. Rajesh Biogenesis. Now in this session I will be discussing about the VACPR theory and the axe symbolism corresponding geometries. According to VACPR theory, if I want to define a particular geometry, it is very convenient for me to take a particular symbolism, and this symbolism has been given an abbreviation of axe, AXE. A refers to the central atom, X refers to the bonding pairs, and E refers to the non-bonding pairs or the lone pairs. How many bonding pairs are present is given by small n as a subscript, and how many lone pairs or non-bonding pairs are present is given by small m as a subscript. So according to this axe symbolism, we have derived different geometries. I will briefly explain these tables to you. The first column is given for steric number. How many domains are being occupied around the central atom is given in the steric number. Later on, out of this steric number where the domains are occupied, these domains could be from the bonding pair or it could be from the non-bonding pair. A non-bonding pair is simply given as a lone pair, whereas the bonding pair I can simply call it as a sigma bond. Even if it is a multiple bond, let it be a double bond or a triple bond, I can only consider sigma bond to give you the number of bond pairs. It is a sigma bond that will give you a particular geometry. Pi bond will simply follow the sigma bond. So I am not taking any multiple bond to be the number of bond pairs. It is just the sigma bond that is enough. Next column is hybridization. For corresponding steric number, there is a definite hybridization. Axe symbolism has been given. How many bond pairs are present, how many lone pairs are present will be indicated. Later on, the steric geometry or the electronic geometry is also given, continued by a molecular geometry. So when I say electronic geometry, it will include both the bond pair as well as the non-bonding pair. So based on that, we have to provide the geometry. When I ask about molecular geometry, we have to define only the bond pairs. You just forget about the lone pairs. For example, if I ask what is the structure of water molecule, we simply say it is angular or bent. Instead, we do not say it is tetrahedral. Tetrahedral is electronic geometry, but angular, V-shape or bent is called as a molecular geometry. So we have started with 2 and we have ended up till 7. So just let me briefly explain these things. For steric number 2, there are 2 sigma bonds. So just suppose that I am taking a central atom, this being a central atom, you can consider this to be one bond pair and a second bond pair. Supposing that if I put these 2 bond pairs very close, repulsive forces will dominate, and due to these repulsive forces, these 2 bond pairs try to move away from one another to the largest possible extent, and this is giving an angle of about 180 degree. Okay. Even if I replace one of these bond pairs with a lone pair, so just take a lone pair in the place of a bond pair, even then the electronic geometry is linear. Even the molecular geometry is linear. Molecular geometries do not consider the lone pair. Now that becomes the molecular geometry. Anyway, this is not given because it is 1 and 1, that is very rare. You need not consider. Just 2-0 combination can be considered. When I come to steric number 3, now this is for steric number 2, linear. Let me add one more bond. When I add one more bond, as you can see, the bond angle is 90 degree, whereas in this case it is 180 degree. So the repulsive forces will be large and the molecule will arrange in such a way that least repulsive forces will operate, and that will take up a planar structure. In every case, the bond angle is found to be 120 degree. For this reason, we call it as a trigonal planar geometry, and it is an equilateral triangle. Suppose if the domain occupied is a larger domain, maybe if it is a lone pair or if it is a double bond, then these 2 bonds will close. Because it is a double bond, always a double bond or a triple bond will occupy a larger space in comparison with a single bond. So in such a case, it will be a trigonal planar geometry but not an equilateral triangle. So the basic parent geometry is a trigonal planar and equilateral triangle. It is a 3-0 combination, 3 sigma bonds without lone pair. 3 sigma bonds without lone pair, and whenever the steric number is 3, hybridization will not change. It is sp2, sp2 and sp2. Let there be a different combination of bond pair and non-bonding pair. and for particular hybridization the parent geometry or the electronic geometry do not change. In every case it is trigonal planar. This is IUPAC representation, IUPAC abbreviation of a particular geometry. For trigonal planar I give it as TP-3 and all of these must be in italics, they are just written in the italic forms. When it comes to the molecular geometry, this is trigonal planar, but whenever there is one lone pair, just suppose that I have taken a lone pair. Considering this lone pair, this is trigonal planar but not an equilateral triangle, because lone pair will occupy a greater space, these two will come much closer. So it is trigonal planar but not an equilateral triangle. When it comes to the molecular geometry, you just forget about this lone pair. Now it looks like a V, bent shape or a V shape or an angular shape. Okay, so if I look this, it is kind of a V shape, and that is the molecular geometry whenever you have a 2+1 combination of bonding pair and non-bonding pair. What I will do is I will take now two lone pairs. I have just taken a two lone pair. Okay, when I have taken two lone pairs, you can still see that the electronic geometry is trigonal planar, but the molecular geometry, where you don't consider the lone pairs, it is linear. So that is what is given here. Next, let us come to the steric number 4. When I take a steric number 4, now just suppose that, let me put it this way. When I am putting it this way, it is looking like a square plane, but within the square plane the bond angle is 90 degree and repulsive forces will dominate. So for that reason it will acquire a tetrahedral shape. Now within this tetrahedral geometry, okay, this is a tetrahedral geometry. Within this tetrahedral geometry, as you can see, the bond angle is about 109 degree and 28 minutes. So with this bond angle, the repulsive forces are least when there are 4 bond pairs, and this is giving us a 4-0 combination with an sp3 hybridization AX4. There are no lone pairs and the geometry is represented as T4, which is called as a tetrahedral geometry with 4 surrounding atoms. This is also T4. So the electronic geometry, molecular geometry will be the same whenever the lone pairs are nil. Suppose that I am replacing one of the bond pair now with a lone pair. I have replaced one of the bond pair with a lone pair, then it is still sp3 E1, there is one more lone pair. The electronic geometry, it is looking like a tetrahedron, but when I don't consider the lone pair, now the geometry is a pyramidal one, trigonal pyramidal. For trigonal pyramidal, the abbreviation is TPY3. In the next case, I am just increasing the number of lone pairs. Now I am taking 2 lone pairs. The geometry is still a tetrahedron. This is an electronic geometry, but when it comes to the molecular geometry, you can just watch. You forget about these 2 electron pairs, but when you look at these bond pairs, it is looking like a bent or angular or a V shape. Just a classical example is water molecule. In the previous case, you can take ammonia as an example. For this, you can take water H2O as an example, where there are 2 bond pairs and 2 lone pairs, and it is giving you a tetrahedral electronic geometry but angular molecular geometry. In the last case, what I will be doing is I will take 3 lone pairs. When I choose 3 lone pairs, the geometry is still a tetrahedron. When there are 3 lone pairs, it is still a tetrahedron, but the molecular geometry is just linear, the red one. It is just a linear one. So that is how we can explain the different geometries. Getting to the next one, where the steric number is 5. For steric number 5, you could also have square pyramid geometry, but in square pyramid geometry, the steric repulsions are high. Supposing that I am choosing a square pyramid geometry for a steric number 5. Within this square pyramid geometry, as you can see the square pyramid geometry, the bond angles are 90 degrees in these 4 ligands. Okay, the bond angles are 90 degree. So repulsive forces will be large, and even this is making a 90 degree angle with this. So instead what happen is, slowly one of these surrounding atom will go down and these will arrange themselves in the least repulsive state. Now it is giving you a geometry where the repulsive forces are the least. So the bond angle between any equatorial ligands is 120 degree, as you can see from here. It is a 120 degree angle, and the bond angle between these two axial ligands is found to be 180 degree. The bond angle between the equatorial and axial is 90 degree. So the repulsive forces have minimized, and this is a trigonal bipyramidal geometry. This trigonal bipyramidal geometry is abbreviated as TBPY5 according to IUPAC. AX5E0 is the symbolism. 5 bond pairs are present, 0 lone pairs are present. Next I am taking one lone pair. So whenever I am choosing one lone pair, I could take that lone pair along the axis, but whenever I am taking that lone pair along the axis, I said lone pair will occupy a larger domain because it is localized to the central atom. It requires a greater space. In the last video you can just watch this. It will occupy a greater space, and due to its occupation of greater space, it will try to repel these 3 bonds to a greater extent. These 3 bonds will bend, and that is a very high energy state. So instead what happen is, instead of these repulsive forces, this particular lone pair will choose an equatorial position. Once it is choosing an equatorial position, now the bond angle is 120 degree. Since it is 120 degree, it is enjoying a greater freedom. It will occupy a larger space. Once it is occupying a larger space, now the bond angle here, expected to be 120 degree, will decrease to some extent. So it is not exactly 120, it is lesser than 120, whereas this bond angle will be greater than 120 because the lone pair will occupy a greater space. Okay. This is when it is having one lone pair of electron which always occupy the equatorial position in trigonal bipyramidal geometry. Next, when I don't consider this particular lone pair, the shape that I find is called as a seesaw shape. This is a lone pair, therefore it will try to repel the equatorial bonds, it will also try to repel the axial bonds. So this will bend to some extent, this will also bend to some extent. This is the original geometry of a seesaw, and this seesaw is abbreviated as SS. In this case, the seesaw is abbreviated as SS4, altogether 1, 2, 3 and 4 surrounding atoms. There is another name for seesaw, you can also call it as a disphenoidal shape, disphenoid, or it is an irregular tetrahedra or distorted tetrahedra, all mean one and the same. Now as I proceed, instead of one lone pair, let me choose a second lone pair. So from the knowledge that you get, now you can expect where do the second lone pair go. It always require a greater space, and greater space is available along the equator. So the second lone pair is also occupying the equatorial position. Now this is how the geometry look like. It is a trigonal bipyramidal geometry sterically, but the molecular geometry, you can just watch the red ones. These are the bond pairs. It is looking like a T shape. So whenever there are 2 lone pairs, now the shape is TS3, which is the molecular geometry. TS, right? It is a T shaped with 3 surrounding atoms. Let me choose one more lone pair, and even that lone pair will choose the equatorial position. So when I choose that lone pair, the steric geometry or the electronic geometry is still a trigonal bipyramidal one. It is still a trigonal bipyramidal one. But when you look at the molecular geometry, it is a linear one. The molecular geometry is linear whenever you have a 2-3 combination. That is for steric number 5. And for steric number 5, hybridization is constant sp3d, where a dz square orbital is involved. AX5E0 no bonding pair, 1 bonding pair, 2 bonding pair and 3 bonding pairs. As the bonding pairs are increasing, the molecular geometry is also shifting. From trigonal bipyramidal it slowly moves to seesaw. From seesaw it moves to T shape. From T shape it is moving to linear. And whenever the steric number is 6, we have a classical geometry which we call it as a octahedra. Within this octahedra, I can just take 4 ligands in a square plane. Okay, this is an octahedral geometry. Now this is an octahedral geometry where 1, 2, 3, 4, if I am just considering to be in the equatorial plane, these bonds, one bond is above, one bond is below. This is octahedral geometry with 6 bond pairs, there are no lone pairs, and between two trans bonds the bond angle is 180, between any cis the bond angle is 90 degree. So this bond is making a 90 degree angle with 1, 2, 3 or 4 bonds. When you put it on paper, the distance between these two and the distance between these two look differently, but when you are looking at a 3D model, everywhere it is just 90 degree angle between any two cis bonds. Between any two trans bonds it is 180, 180 and 180. And this octahedra is represented by OC6, that is octahedra. Even the molecular geometry is OC6. Now just let me replace one of these bond pairs with a lone pair. It is still an octahedra, electronic geometry, but look at the molecular geometry, it is a square pyramid. The red ones you can just look it as a square pyramid one. One important thing is this is a lone pair is a cylindrical space, it is occupying a larger space, and these bond pairs will repel. Because this is trying to occupy a greater space, now this will push these bonds to above. So the real geometry will look something like this. It is not a perfect plane. Now all these 4 bonds will move above because this lone pair is occupying a greater space. The bond angle between this apical ligand and this basal ligand will be no more 90 degrees, it will be lesser than 90 degree. And this bond angle will be greater than 90 degree between the lone pair and the bond pair. So this is the original electronic geometry and the molecular geometry. It will not be a perfect plane, instead they will undergo a distortion. This is when you have one lone pair. And this geometry we call it as a square pyramid geometry. 5 plus 1 combination is a square pyramid geometry, abbreviated as SPY5. When I choose a second lone pair, that second lone pair could occupy this position where it will be cis to this, repulsions will be large. So instead of choosing this position, it will choose this position. Now when it chooses this position, all these bond pairs will be in one plane. Again they will acquire a planar structure. So the electronic geometry is octahedra, but the molecular geometry, as you can see, it is looking like a square plane. Forget about the yellow bonds which are considered to be the lone pairs. Divide off any lone pair, whatever bonds that you find, these are the bonding pairs. So that is giving you the molecular structure, and the molecular structure is a square plane. Whenever there are two lone pairs, electronic geometry is octahedra, molecular geometry is a square plane. For square plane, the abbreviation is SP-4, that is abbreviated as square planar. Supposing that I choose a third lone pair. When I am choosing a third lone pair, now third lone pair may come this way. This could be the third lone pair, or it could also be this one. It is just like meridional and facial, but such a type of molecule is not found, therefore we do not give any example for this. We do not define any geometry for this. If at all any question is asked, if there is a hypothetical molecule, for this hypothetical molecule where there are 3 lone pairs for the steric number 6, what could be the geometry? Then the geometry has to be, the molecular geometry has to be a pyramidal one, or it could be a T shape when these electrons are arranged this way. It could be a T shape. Either way, okay. Anyway, octahedra is completed. The last one, the steric number is 7. So whenever the steric number is 7, we have a geometry which we call it as pentagonal bipyramidal. Now this is a pentagonal bipyramidal geometry. Within this pentagonal bipyramidal geometry, you can see there is one ligand above, or the surrounding atom above, one surrounding atom below, which is making 2 bonds, and the other 5 bonds are in the equatorial plane, that is making a pentagon. You can see a pentagon. The bond angle between these bonds present in the equator is about 72 degree. It is 72 degree. This one is 90 degree and the bond angle between these two is 180 degree. So you get three different bond angles for trigonal bipyramidal, where you get 180, 120 and 90. For pentagonal bipyramidal also you have three bond angles, 180, 90 and 72. You find a difference in trigonal bipyramidal geometry. The bond angle between the equatorial ligands was 120. Now in this case it is only 72. So if at all there is any lone pair, that lone pair will not take up equatorial position in this. That lone pair will take up the axial position. That is the difference between a trigonal bipyramidal and a pentagonal bipyramidal molecule. Next, coming to a lone pair, suppose if there is one lone pair, that lone pair would occupy this position and that would give you a pentagonal monopyramidal. But such molecules are very rare, therefore we usually don't discuss. Pentagonal monopyramidal is also one possibility which we do not discuss. There are some assumptions of VSEPR theory that is given where you get a pentagonal monopyramidal, but that was proved to be wrong. The other geometry was given for it. Okay. So this is all about different geometries explained according to VSEPR theory, where two different geometries are provided, the steric or the electronic geometry and the molecular geometry. You have to remember one particular hybridization for a corresponding steric number, and for that hybridization the geometry will not change. Okay, and if there are a shift in the lone pairs, that will only change the molecular geometry. This is all about VSEPR theory and geometries. Thank you.